not working. Give me a minute. I don't know what's going on. I can't seem to go live. Yes, I really do. You see, not live. It's not letting me go live. I don't get this. Okay, you're in there. Why aren't you going live? You're not going to let me go live. I'm going to get really upset. This doesn't make sense. We're following all the directions that we normally do, and it's not letting me go live. It's like this thing just stopped. It's locked up.
I know in the left-hand corner you have to click on it so you can give it the title of the show and then
Right.
give it text.
I understand all of that.
Okay.
I understand all of that. It's already loaded. It's already loaded in there. It's all set and ready to go. But for some strange reason, it is not starting, and it appears to have locked up. Make sure you're ready. Okay, that should be ready. Good morning. It is Wednesday morning. There it is. Boogie with the Bull. Wednesday morning caffeine. Dave Glovin, Randy Rhodes. Randy Rhodes, Dave Glovin, depending on how you want to look at it. Wait a minute. That's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. And we are here on the Dave Glovin profile. We're live on the Boogie with the Bull. So come in and take part. Open discussions today, and Thanksgiving wishes to anybody who comes in. What's going on, Dr. Rhodes?
Dr. Rhodes. Well, I got this nick in my back and it hurts really bad, and I think my arthritis is flaring. No. Yeah, I mean, just a little bit more. What? Joe Biden must cancel Thanksgiving? What the hell is this?
Joe
I'm
Biden.
just going through some stuff here.
Joe
Who's
Biden wants to cancel
okay?
Thanksgiving.
Okay? So this person, I guess he has some power. I'm trying to find a name. Says today I'm calling on President Joe Biden to do the right thing for America and formally cancel this year's Thanksgiving.
Who is that person? He ought to be
I'm
sent to
trying to
Gitmo
find a
away.
name here to the article. Um, you can get down to the bottom. Uh, keep going. Okay. Okay. The columnist is Rex Hupke on X.
Okay.
So I guess she's just some kind of report or whatever. Anyway, she is upset about Trump winning. She says Biden should cancel Thanksgiving. Well, obviously, you can't do that. Um, so, did you see Republicans got another seat in California?
That's all the more reason not to cancel Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we just picked up another seat in California, which is pretty
Cool.
cool.
Very cool.
um,
You should pick
yeah,
up all the seats in California.
a couple of things going on around the world that I guess we should give thanks for Thanksgiving. First, folks, people, please don't don't bring up politics at the dinner table or
Okay.
religion. Okay, those are two taboo topics that my parents always lived by, and it made for a much better or association of family members of various and diverse beliefs in the politics and the religion scenario. So we made it a rule that when we gather together to break bread as a whole family, that was not allowed to be done. So please, if you want to have an enjoyable evening or day, whatever time of day you guys take your Thanksgiving, please don't bring up religion and or politics. Unless, of course, your whole family voted for Trump, then go ahead and talk all you want. But if you have opposites, please don't do that. In my family, unfortunately, uh, my wife, myself, we are true blue, true red Republicans. I know, it's pretty quiet. Republicans who supported Trump, whereas my daughter is an avid, very liberal Democrat. My son and his family are uh, Democrats. Um, he wasn't raised that way, but I think since getting married to try and keep peace in the family, because he married a woman who can stand up to him as far as uh, uh, strength, verbalizing, and so forth. She's a very strong, very powerful woman. And to keep the family happy, he more or less, toes the line there. So he turned Democrat on me. Um, Obviously, I'll have to lock the door to my office because of my rebel flags. Uh, I can't have the grandkids come run upstairs and they see these flags, and it's going to cause problems because they totally don't understand what the flags represent. So
What do they represent?
well, they represent the same thing as the American flag. When people talk to me about the Confederate flag, okay, specifically the stars and bars, okay, and you guys see that bars there, right? That's the stars and bars. That flag represents to the people of the South just like the American flag does to us. Nationalism, uh, uh, love, and patriotism for the family is a flag that you'd go into combat and die for. It's a flag that will never touch the ground. And in combat, the flag bearer carries no weapons. He carries the flag, so he's out there in the open without any type of way to defend himself. So if he gets shot and falls, then there's someone beside him who will quickly pick up the flag and continue with it. And of course, when that guy, the second person picks up the flag for the fallen one, then the second person has to drop his weapon because you're not supposed to carry a weapon in the combat while you're holding the flag. Same with the American flag. Okay, when that flag is being used as a way to rally up the troops, same thing. The soldier carrying the flag does not carry a weapon. He carries the flag. Uh, Now he would, if he had to, back in the day, the flagpoles had a very sharp, pointy edge. Okay, uh, so if he had to defend himself to keep the enemy from taking the flag, he could use the pointy part as like a spear. Okay, and it worked very well. Um, but so the flags represent. Um, okay, the flags represent uh, respect, honor, uh, loyalty. It's not a flag of slavery. Okay, I don't think there's ever was a flag made that represents slavery. Maybe the KKK, but I don't know enough about them to actually say anything. Bringing saying bring up the KKK. Uh, I do genealogy, and I have yet, honestly, I have yet to find uh, anyone uh, that is publicly uh, uh, comes out with KKK membership, even though they fought for South and so forth. I have a lot of Southern clients and so forth. I have yet to find any who were a member of the KKK. I have yet to find a German soldier that fought in World War I or World War II, even though a lot of the clients, their ancestors have German connections. Now, I did find one of my clients had uh, uh, German, their German ancestors came here to the New World to fight on the side of England, and when as soon as they realized what they were fighting against, they did not agree with the policy of the crown, and they wanted to give support to the people who wanted peace and independence, freedom of religion, and so forth. So they actually, turned sides and became a loyalist to the colonies, and that's why they popped up as ancestors for my clients. So that's the only time I found Germans. I don't know why. Maybe the German government washed the membership rolls so people couldn't track down the German soldiers after the fact because of all the war crimes. I
I
don't
think
know.
that I think they washed it down so bad because they lost so bad that they didn't teach it in German schools for a long time because they didn't want kids growing up to learn the how bad the German how bad the Germans lost.
Or how bad the Germans were as far as the
Well,
war
right.
crimes
I
and
mean,
so
right.
forth.
They were terrible with war crimes throughout it too, but also they lost. I mean, they didn't just lot. You know, a wave of non-German support washed over Germany. You know, they seem to have done very well for themselves in the post-war. Rebuilding Germany and making it an industrial superpower in lots of areas. I mean, we still have Volkswagen, we still have uh, BMW, we still have Porsche, we still have a lot of German German tech. Gillette had an affiliate. They still do. They have an affiliate over there that is based in West Germany, Braun, and they do very well. So I mean, they bounced back from it, and that might be why they continue to sort of kind of hide it. I don't really know.
You gotta love Elon. I'm scrolling through here, and
What is he
uh,
doing
uh,
now?
he has publicly come out and announced the names of government employees that he is going to cut from the workforce as soon as she has the power to do so. So he posted it on X. So
Okay.
now these people publicly know that come with January 20th, they no longer have a job.
Well,
Uh, that's kind of funny.
I mean, I hope that they're scared, but I think the reality is that Dodge, Department of Government Efficiency, doesn't have the authority, I don't think, to actually fire anyone. They can make recommendations which go to President Trump. And I believe that they are working on that he will, in fact, have the authority to fire those people, or it's going to have to go to the House. And then the House, and hopefully those people will eventually get fired. I don't really know. I mean, personally, I think those people should just walk away or get ready to walk away, because when the new secretary for their department comes in, they're most likely going to can anybody who was involved in all of the uh, anti-Trump stuff that went on, and they really should. Dogs are barking in Studio B, so Delilah's trying to answer them here. So bear with us.
You know, it's kind of funny too. Biden had announced that he was going to uh, uh, cut off the weapons sales to Israel, but at the same time, he is selling landmines and uh, these super fast missiles to Ukraine to use against Russia. Uh, the last I knew, landmines were illegal, but I did verify that he did authorize the sale of these landmines. In fact, the Pope is very upset about it. Uh, for some reason, you bury these damn landmines. At some point, you might forget where the hell you buried them, or you lose the map that you drew, showing where the landmines are situated. And then, 3, 4, 5, 10 years from now, kids are outside playing. Ukraine's being rebuilt. Life's coming back to the country, and all of a sudden, somebody walks on a landmine. That's why they're made illegal.
Is
Um,
is the Pope really upset that landmines were made illegal, or was the Pope really upset that he couldn't send Vatican army and archaeologists over there to dig them
you
up
know,
and bring them back to Italy and
you know,
surround Vatican City with them?
does I know back in the day, the Pope had his own uh, soldiers, but does he actually have an army per se that is there to protect him
I,
or
I
to
believe
protect the Vatican?
I believe the Swiss army is there. Exactly what the Pope has for an army, I don't really know. But you see pictures all the time of very well stocked gun rooms at the Vatican that everybody on that side seems to then immediately come out and go, no, that's false. You know, uh, I
Okay.
don't. I don't know, because I've never seen those gun rooms. I don't believe that any sitting pope is going to invite Boogie with the Bull to come and take a tour of Vatican City with them without any intention of hoping that, well, I'm googling or goggling or whatever the word is at the gold and other treasures that I see in there. They'll be able to sneak out and leave me locked in that room forever.
Yeah. So he does have his own army. Let's see how large it is. Let's see how large it is. Just kind of curious. The fact that he has his own army to protect him. Um,
Well, Randy does that. Anybody else who is watching, feel free to come in to the live chat on my profile here on Facebook. Send happy Thanksgiving wishes to anyone who might be watching around the world, or anyone who is watching on Facebook. Uh, it's not Red Friday, but I want every man and woman around the world, uh, as a representative of the United States, because they're in the United States military, to understand that our thoughts are with them, even though they are not home, and they are taking on a very serious responsibility, protecting the interests of the United States of America. And it is a
oh,
it is a noble task. Well, go ahead. Did you find something?
135 men protect him.
135
So
men.
I wouldn't call that an army.
No, it's
Uh,
probably not, but
I'd
they're,
call it an oversized bodyguard, maybe.
yeah. I mean, uh,
So I was talking about the military shit that Biden's doing.
Yep.
So Zelensky has been informed of missiles misfiring that we sold or gave to him. So they had to return 100,000 missiles because of them being faulty. Uh, and I did, if I still have it, I just pulled up how much we spent so far on his damn. Uh,
Too much.
yeah,
And that's
exactly.
unfortunately that's money that Elon Musk and Vivek
64.
Ramaswamy are not going to be able to find and bring back.
$64.1 billion initially, and then approximately 66.9 billion since the invasion of Russia, uh, and an additional $31.7 billion. So close to $1 trillion we stole that
One, yeah,
asshole.
just wrong, and we're not going to get any of that back.
Mm.
You can bring Zelensky wherever you want, prosecute him for war crimes in any international courtroom that you want to bring him into. But the truth is, where are we going to get that money back? You can bring Biden in and drag him around. You can bring George Soros in and drag him around. Uh, I'm tired of hearing whether or not Kamala Harris is going to try to do something stupid enough that Joe Biden just says, I'm not. I'm going to be the president until we figure this out. Uh,
I don't know. Do you really think he's gonna want to stay in? I
I
mean,
don't. I don't think he wants to stay in. I personally think whether or not he was faking or has been faking the dementia. The minute he found out Donald Trump was elected, he won the presidency. I think Joe really wanted to be out of there. I think the fireside chat that they had at the White House led to them going into a private room somewhere at the White House where it was just them. And I believe, in no uncertain terms, either Trump told Joe, "You're faking it. I know it, Joe. So it's just us. Tell us what's going on." And Joe really looked at him and said, "You know what, Don? I just want to get the hell out of here. You know, I want to get the hell out of here. Uh, I know I did wrong. I know I have to either stand before America and tell them what I did wrong or just hope that they believe Robert Herr, who said I'm a stupid old man who didn't know what I was doing, and now I just need to go away." Because I'm hoping at that point that Trump said to him, "That's really what you need to do. You need to just play stupid, and I'll get you out of here and go and enjoy the rest of your life. Take some of your money that you made from almost 50 years in government, if not longer. Take some of the millions that you made illegally and go buy yourself an island and don't have parties there so that anybody gets listed. Don't invite anybody over there. Just go buy an island and and, and be happy." But I don't think that will be happy. I
be
don't.
happy.
Well, I don't think that's the way it will go because I'm convinced if that's what he went public and said, the deep state only has one way they could make him happy
Mm.
because he he's a loose cannon. You don't know what he's going to say and where he's going to say it, and they can't have that.
Speaking about being happy, did you see that Kamala Harris was going to do an interview with Al Sharpton after her loss? And to make sure that Al Sharpton didn't come out on the attack, uh, she donated
Yeah,
$500,000 to him to make him happy so that when she did the interview, things went better for her than what would have otherwise not
in,
gone good for her.
in reality, she paid him $500,000 to
Yeah.
do the interview. He has a substantial IRS tax lien on him, so he can't have any income in the sense of traditional income. I don't care if she had to pay him $500,000 to do the interview, but it ends there because, like I said, he's got a substantial tax lien on him, so he cannot show that $500,000 as personal income to him because the IRS would take it away. So what he's allowed to do is he's living as his charity or as the CEO of his charity. He's not tax, and he's basically getting away with owing the IRS $500,000 or more. It's much more, but they can't they can't take it. And maybe it's just come to a time where it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or Republican, an independent, or not even registered in a party. Maybe it's time for Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy to, while they're going around chasing all the drawers and cabinets and everywhere else, looking for the trillions of hidden dollars within the House of Representatives and the Senate and all the government agencies, and just go back to when Lois Lerner was in charge of something at the IRS, I forget, and she was going after when a Republican group filed for 501c3, they got turned down. Why? Because she didn't want to approve it. Maybe it's time to go in and find the person now who is approving all of these Democrat things and nail them to the wall for the same reason. But also, I just think it's time to get rid of the IRS because we're never going to get the true story of who owes what. I keep getting these robocalls, 2 or 3 from different people at different tax help services that say, the laws have changed. We could get you out of it. I just want it to go away.
Why are you getting phone calls from IRS? Do you owe the money?
Because your tax lien, your IRS tax lien, is a matter of public record. So that public record is available to anyone who owns a help you tax service. And they, in turn, will take that information and badger you with phone calls, hoping that you will eventually decide you want to talk to one of their people. They get paid if they recover or get your tax lien taken care of. You don't pay. Well, I don't know if you pay them or the IRS pays them, but somehow they get paid. And usually what they get paid, even if you have to pay them, is a lot less than what you owe. And where most of middle class America is in that situation, if you're in the same situation I am, you did something stupid. You didn't have a 1099 when you filed your taxes. You forgot about it. You thought you already had it. You thought you included it, and you sent it in. The IRS just happened to pull our return from 2014. In 2017, realized that one 1099 was missing. They went crazy and said, you owe us trillions of dollars in interest and quadrillion dollars in penalties, and we're going to keep your returns until you pay it back. We're not going to come after and have anything, but we're just going to keep your returns until you pay it back. And it's kind of like when you have thousands of dollars in debt on a credit card and you just keep making the minimum payment, which 75 goes to paying the interest, and maybe if you're lucky, 5% when it's done goes to actually paying your payment down.
Color me stupid, but what's a 1099?
1099 is an independent contractor form. It's the same thing as if you work
it's not a W-2.
Yeah, if you worked for a company and you're an employee, they're pulling the taxes out of your paycheck and sending it to the IRS, and at the end you get the W-2, which goes on and shows the tax. The IRS gets to do it. It's the same thing. If you're an independent contractor, you're responsible for paying your income tax and sending a copy of that 1099 form in with your.
Sort of like when I was a telemarketer in And I did my taxes. I used a 1099. Okay,
Yeah. You got to.
I know
Well,
what it
no,
is.
you got instead of getting the W-2 from the IRS, I mean from the company that you worked for, you got a 1099 form, which
Yeah,
basically just said you work for them, but as an independent contractor, you're
correct.
responsible. There's no contract between you other than what your agreement what the agreement between both of you was. I did it with drivers. I had drivers that drove my work that owned their own cars or owned their own livery services, and say they did a job for $500, they got the whole $500 because I never took a cut from them. I just didn't think it was right. Some would send me back a portion of it, but I didn't care. I was more concerned with just getting the job covered. So, you got a check for $500. And at the end of the year, you got a form. You were supposed to get a form from me that said, you know, I paid you $500 and you're responsible for the taxes.
Okay, okay, I gotcha.
Uh,
Um,
that the IRS should go away and just be done. And it shouldn't even be the IRS sticks around and stays responsible for handling the taxes for the top 1%. They should just go away, and it should be looked at that if you want to give a contribution out of your personal income to the IRS to operate to help allow the federal government to operate, that's between you and the federal government. But realistically, no. The federal government has swelled up so big that you know we're going into debt, and like I say all the time, our oldest grandson is 12, our youngest grandchild is 6 months, and they're never going to pay that off. And the 6 month olds, children, grandchildren, great grandchildren are never going to pay it off either.
yeah. Well, they're never going to pay off the damn debt to Ukraine.
Right.
All the freaking money we're giving them and the cost of the weapons and shit, they're not going to pay
Yeah.
us back.
Right.
Now, we may luck out as a nation, and Ukraine allows American businesses to go in there and help with the reconstruction phase. That might be one way. But
I got to tell you, if I was IBM or Microsoft or one of those big computer companies that could go in and show them a better technology, I actually don't know if I would go in. I would just be concerned that might call me up on the phone and
yeah.
say, "Hey, Dave, Globin Technology Corporation is a partner of the Russian government. You do all our computers and you take care of them. And now you're in Ukraine. I'm going to go over and bomb your factories because you didn't
Well,
you
obviously,
didn't add more money and do better with us."
obviously, any American involvement as far as that has to wait until the war has been decided, and everyone takes back their guns, and then start the phase of rebuilding. Not only Ukraine but also Russia. But I don't think Russia's going to allow American businesses in there to help with the reconstruction. But you have to imagine from what we've seen, I think there's not hardly any town or city in Ukraine that has not been touched by combat, and I think the entire damn country's been laid to waste.
Yeah.
And that's a shame because they have such beautiful architecture and stuff. Oh my God, that's a shame. It really is.
Let's cut to a second and welcome Pat O'Griff, who says, "Good morning. Blessings to you today and a thankful tomorrow, and to you as well, Pat." Chuck Cook could not be in the studio on the broadcast with us, but he is watching. And Friday morning's broadcast will be the typical Red Friday that Bill Muckler and I normally do. Bill is off this week, so I believe Randy Rhodes, Jen Woodruff, Chuck Cook, myself, and that's 4. So that leaves 5. If anyone really wants to join us on the broadcast, all you have to do is come into the live chat and say, "Link me." The rules will be the same as I've always said. You come in, you come on. You don't go off on anybody on the panel. Don't let them go off on you. Everybody treats everybody the same. If not, you don't get a donut that Randy Rhodes is promising to bring.
I know. My God. I
And
know.
and or he's gonna double your genealogy, which means that it will go from around $250 a month to about $250,000 a month because
That's more than double.
you embarrassed him. But it's just
Yeah.
lately Randy and I have done some really great broadcasts together. I'm still working on, and I will always be working on my interrupting people's uh, on the broadcast. But lately, Randy and I've really enjoyed having Randy on, even if Randy is sitting in front of the Boogie with the Bull uncensored newsroom reading as the writers hand him the copy, looking at the teleprompter that Joe Biden doesn't know how to read, and I also am going
Poor
to sit
guy.
this
Yeah.
only because I'm going to try to help Randy do this. If you are looking for an eight an all-in-one computer, that's usually that something that if you look at it, you'll see that the screen houses everything and you can get them in assorted sizes. I don't know what size Randy's screen is, but usually
27.
27. So that's the biggest of the HP all-in-ones. It runs on Windows 10, but it has been fully diagnosed by someone both Randy and I trust, who has asked us not to mention their name only because they are so busy doing this for other people. They can't fit anybody else in right now. And every time anybody mentions, they end up getting more people and they just can't help. They just can't help everybody. But it's been fully diagnosed, updated, drivers, software, everything. I believe a printer comes with it. I
Yep.
believe a
HP
webcam.
printer.
Believe a webcam comes with it.
Red Dragon.
Is it the wireless HP so that it
Yes.
has? All right. Well, that means you get a wireless keyboard and a wireless mouse.
Oh
With
no,
it.
the computer's not wireless.
Okay.
The printer is wireless.
Okay. The printer is wireless, so you get a standard plug-in keyboard and mouse. Uh, but you can I believe you can switch them and run them wireless if you want. Wireless keyboards and mice are not expensive if you want to do that. But my point is, you could not go into, even if they were still selling that HP version, that Windows 10 all in one, you could not go in and get that package for $200. So if you are looking for something, or need to grab something even for as a family computer or something to use
Here,
at home.
I can share the
Talk,
picture
talk
of it.
to Randy. Talk to Randy. Talk to
Here,
Randy.
I'll show you a picture. Here's a picture of it.
Okay. Uh, hold on. I got to go down here. Yeah, I got to bring it in
There
so
you
you
go.
can see it. There it is. But yeah, they are really nice machines, and it's the sense of an all-in-one. It doesn't take up much room on your desk. You can find room to move the printer over. If you have a shelf above your desk, or a desk slide out tray for a printer. There are plenty of options available. So
And it has a
if you're
CD-ROM
looking,
player. Well,
it does.
a lot of your new computers has don't have the
Right.
CD-ROM player anymore. But this one here does. It's
They don't.
inside.
Yep. Yep.
It does.
They
And
got.
up here you can't see it too well. Is the Red Dragon
Yep.
720p camera.
Yep. So we won't mention prices, but it is a very, 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 very good price. So if you're looking for something like that, talk to Randy. I assume that shipping is optional. I mean, you're going to have to either get to
Right.
Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, to pick it up, or you're going to have to
I mean,
have it
obviously,
to
for
you.
some extra money, I could, get a proper shipping box with a proper installation and so forth, so it arrives to you in one piece. But
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, but you know, I'm just throwing it out there as an option if people are looking. I
throwing out there as an
I had
option.
looked at them running Windows 11, but I really don't have the desk space for it, so I'm happy with with what I have picked up. But
And the
it's
reason why I'm
really,
selling it now is that since I have the new setup, which is the tower, and I have two 32-inch curved monitors, I don't use that computer at all anymore. And I did verify that the date on it is 2023. I did verify that,
yeah. So
so it's not that old.
it's not that old, and you know, old outdated technology sometimes is a really good deal, and this is that particularly is a really good deal. My Moto 5G Motorola phone is a 2022, and they sold them out at whatever they could get for them. About I think I paid $150 for it, and it's normally a $250 phone. And the only problem that it has is that every once in a while your mobile data will switch over to wireless, and you can't make or receive phone calls. You have to go in there and switch it back. It doesn't happen very often. Uh, yeah, it doesn't happen very often, and you just go in and switch it back. But so it's a glitch that they couldn't fix, and if you do look around, you get a good deal. But Windows 10 in that configuration that Randy has, and knowing the tech who gurus it, it could be a good deal. It could be a Christmas present that makes somebody or somebody's very happy.
Yeah.
Uh, on Friday's broadcast, I'm going to ask the question, since Friday is Black Friday, has everybody finished their Christmas shopping already? Because it's really easy. I just follow my lovely wife Donna around the stores that we're going to, and listen to her, because I can never remember what everybody likes, what everybody wants, and uh,
Yeah,
uh,
well, what we do in our family is that Claudette and I, because we're being on fixed incomes makes life hard, but not impossible. So Claudette and I, we're happy to have the roof over our head and food in our stomach. So we don't get ourselves any type of gifts, but we make sure that our daughter and our grandkids do. Uh, if we have money left over, we do something for my son and his wife. But Christmas, for us is more for the kids.
yeah,
So we give the three grandkids cash, and I tell you, when we do it, it comes from our heart because it is a uh, it's to us it's a hell of a lot of money, but
yeah,
it makes the kids happy. And that's what we try to do as grandparents, good grandparents, is make our grandkids happy and remember us.
yeah. This year for Christmas, Donna doesn't have to give me anything. She allowed me to violate our finances and upgrade my tablet, or my laptop. So I'm sure that she will get. Actually, she got a phone. She got a big girl phone.
Mm.
She got a big girl Galaxy phone, the Galaxy A15, which, don't believe Walmart if you go in there that there's a straight talk deal that you can get the phone for free, because there is a deal that you can get the phone for free, but you have to jump through so many effing bomb hoops to get it, so that your current straight talk phone can be transferred to the new A15. That honestly, it wasn't worth it. She just took out a credit card and said, "I'm going to pay for it," and you know, I will pay her back for for uh, for doing it. Uh, you know, and sometimes buying technology for somebody else is not the best thing. What I was going to do, say to someone, you have up to amount of money to go spend to buy it, and you either have to wait for me to send the money to you, or you go do it, and I'll spend the rest of my life paying you back. Uh,
Mhm.
don't go crazy. Don't go into Christmas debt. Don't overdraft from every account that you can possibly overdraft from and get those bills in January of 20. You just don't get out of them. You
Yeah.
just never get out of them. And that's what hurts because, like I tell people, I'm 62 years old and I finally got my credit rating this year to where to where I could get credit cards, and I got them, and did what everybody else does, went crazy with them. And the lesson I'm learning is they don't care how crazy you go. They don't care if you can't use the card anymore because at 35, 45, 55, $105 a month minimum payment, it's going to take you the rest of your life to pay off that $1,000 limit.
Yeah.
And they're making money, so they don't care.
I came from a family who had the ability to use both cash and credit. And my dad had one of those flip open wallets where it has all these little
Yep,
plastic sleeves that you would normally would put pictures in, but he
yep,
used his for all these damn credit cards he had.
yep,
So I grew up in a family of credit cards. My wife, on the other hand, her dad believed in if you don't have the cash, don't buy it.
yep.
So um, when she married me and saw I had credit cards, uh, within a year or two, my credit cards were maxed to hell out. And like you said, it took for a freaking ever to get them paid off, and I cut the cards up.
$1,000. You know, I was impressed. I got an envelope that said, "Oh, you got $1,000 credit limit." So I didn't even bother to look at the interest rate. I just knew that I had $1,000. Then boom, before long, doctor's copays went on it. Other daily survival things went on it. You know, trips to go visit family.
Yeah.
And then like I said, they get you locked into it because $1,000 at a month minimum payment is going to take you a billion years. You know, and you know, I don't know if you can pass the debt on to your estate. Uh,
I also thought about that because um, doing ancestry, I get to see these people back in the day. I know I'm talking like 1800s, 1700s, and so forth.
mhm.
They would do a will, right? And one of the very first things these people did when they croaked was the money they had. First of all, they put it into the newspaper that so and so died. If he owes any money, here's where you go to get reimbursed. So uh, the
Keep digging.
money, whatever money there is, our property to be sold off, went to pay off any of the person's debt.
Yeah,
And if there's anything was left over, then it went to the family.
right.
Well, I know I have a couple of really, 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 really old debts that have been, essentially been washed away into oblivion until I die. So I'm just wondering if, not that, I mean, right now I even don't have life insurance. I got to get that started up again. But is that true of today's modern day? If you croak, they come after you first for any money you owe from
They
past
come after your
debts.
they come after your estate, uh, and I don't know how it is resolved. I don't know if you have to go through probate uh, with all of them, but they I believe can put liens on your estate, which set it up so that they have to be paid first. So I just don't want any of that. We like I said, we have a grandchild who is 6 months old. When I pass away, I don't want somebody knocking on her door going, your grandfather owed $3,000, $5,000 in credit cards, and we want the money now. No, you know.
Yeah, you want my first
I've
child.
learned a lesson, and 6 months ago, a year ago, everybody was talking about how Donald Trump was going to ride in, clean up the government, straighten it all out, and we were all going to get like $1 million in our bank accounts. And because that's what the government owes us, or the other side of it, the people who insist that your birth certificate is really a stock certificate and it was sold by the federal government for $100 million and all of that. I don't care about getting the $100 million back. I'm 62 years old. I probably don't need it. It would be very nice to maybe get some of the tax money that I paid over the 40 years that I worked back. And at this point, to be honest, if someone from the government sat me down and said, "What do you need?" Let's look at my credit cards. Let's look at some other debt that, that there is in my family that I'd like to be able to help people with. And, write me a check for 20 grand and I'm probably happy. I mean, you can write me a check for a lot more and I'd be a lot happier. But, realistically, off the top of my head, cut me a check for 20 grand. That'll pay off things that I need to pay off, make nice contributions to helping someone else pay things they need to pay off. You really want to help me? Give me 200,000, and I'll walk away. I'll build a nice Boogie with the Bull studio where I'll be happy and you won't hear dogs barking and it'll be a real studio. You won't hear my chair squeak every time I
my
move.
God.
You know,
You just need a can of WD-40, buddy.
no, I leaned too hard on the left arm getting up, and I snapped it out.
Oh,
So what happened? And the hole is stripped. So we gotta I have to hold it and try not to move while we get it all lined up. So
you
that
need a new chair.
No, I really don't. I just need to get it. I just need to try to get this one put back together, and then once it's put back together, stop leaning on it to get in and out of it.
I know. I have my right. Years back when I had my back surgery, and I was working from home. My health insurance paid for a $500 desk chair, beautiful desk chair designed for back, right?
Yeah.
And I haven't had ever since. But over the years, my getting up, I like you said, I used the one arm of the chair for support getting in and out.
Yeah.
So this one here is wobbly. Not to mention all the cat scratches on the nice leather chair because the cats use my chair for for a scratcher.
I was buying those fleece blankets at Walmart every time they would put out the big huge box full. I'd just grab one and put it on there so that Lola, our cat, wouldn't scratch on it, and
it works for a while until you get around it. But
really, one of those Samsonite folding chairs, metal folding chairs with a couple of nice pillows, a nice pillow on the back and a nice pillow for my bottom tied to it, and can't move. That would probably be fine. And then when I'm done doing the broadcast, fold it up, throw it in the closet.
Yeah, I had a really, really disturbing dream the other day. And I don't know why. I often dream that my family and I are living in my mom's house because we inherited, which we didn't. That's another story that really pisses me off. But I dream sometimes that I'm actually living in the house. So we're living in my mom's house, a beautiful house, a lot of doors, and we had all our cats and our dog. My son and my daughter was with us. They were teenagers, and my son had his friends over at the house. And I try to tell them to keep the damn doors and windows shut because the cats are going out, and no one would listen. So my whole dream was me catching these damn cats, bringing them back in, catching cat, bringing them back in, and eventually Sonata, which I have to admit is one of my She's the one I'm more, loving to. She's my favorite. Got out, ran out into the yard, out into the street, and got hit by a car. And I woke up screaming my head off because of the dream. But uh, you know, it's amazing how your pets become not only a part of your family, but like a family member
Yeah,
because you talk to them like they're humans,
yeah.
your mommy loves you, your dad loves you, come to daddy, all all these these things you normally would use for like grandkids, but you're associating them with your pets,
If they
and
could talk, I wonder what they would say back.
that's the
I know
truth.
what some of mine would say, but going to interrupt for just a second. Pat Grief asks a question: what do you guys think of FEMA? My girlfriend's husband, who's in North Carolina, is inviting FEMA workers over for Thanksgiving from Mississippi. I was just curious what your thoughts were about this. Basically, Pat, if they were coming as human beings and not necessarily FEMA employees, and they were going to help him out, the best ways they could so that his paperwork would move through FEMA and he would get paid for it faster, that might be good. But if they were coming because they were people capable of helping him rebuild their home, that would be better. I would be more inclined, although I don't know if they would come, to have Randy help me find a bunch of Amish gentlemen who would be willing to come down and help build or rebuild if Don and I had a home, our home. And then, to be honest with you, within the limits of my disabilities, I'd probably travel with them for a good 6 months if I could, in between having to come home for doctor's appointments and things like that, and help do whatever I can do. I can't go up on a roof and nail wood pegs in to hold the roof on. But all the stuff they throw on the ground, I can throw in a bin and work on the ground. But
Yeah,
if
yeah,
everybody would get this stick out of their butts that everybody who needs FEMA's help got burned, and you're not going to get any help, come together when they could and help, we just be we just be
well, I think you missed the point of the question. The question is, how do you feel about them inviting them over for Thanksgiving?
well. I, I, if he's hoping he's going to get help from those people faster than just, like I said, trying to negotiate with FEMA, I would have said it's probably a stupid idea because they spent $1 billion housing illegal immigrants. That the odds of him getting 50 cents to fix his home, or the $100,000 he might be entitled to, he's not going to get. At least not going to get under the Biden presidency. So I don't really know how to answer that question. And I wouldn't want to appeal to President Trump, hoping that President Trump says, hey, Dave, you really deserve my help, because my belief is there's probably somebody who deserves the help more than me. I mean, and that's just the way I am. But, give them an answer from your point of view, Randy. Your mic's off.
I
There it is. You're back. You're back now.
have a bad cord.
Okay.
Um, So,
Your computer guru is so fired at the end of this broadcast.
no, it is the point of having $20 to
I
buy a
think we
new
lost.
cord. Um, so look, if you're
Oh,
looking to invite someone, anyone, the fact that they work for FEMA is besides the point. You're looking to invite someone into your home to break bread as we should. That's what the idea was the original design of Thanksgiving was to invite people to your table, each bring some food or whatever they could, and you sit down and you eat food and you have a good time, a good conversation. Um, I see nothing wrong with it, as long as you have no evidence that these FEMA workers did anything to prolong or to cancel any type of help and support that they, in their capacity as a FEMA employee, can offer to you folks. If everything is up and up and they're good people and so forth, why not invite them? They're away from their homes so on a holiday. They probably were thinking to themselves, where are we going to go to celebrate Thanksgiving? Oh, let's go to the Chinese
yeah.
restaurant. They always have good things for Thanksgiving. But I think it's a good thing as long as you're doing it from the warmth of your heart, and that these people are coming to you knowing that you're uh, 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 sharing what you have to feed them. I think it's a good thing.
I mean, if people were out building a Habitat for Humanity home on Thanksgiving, and I really thought about it, yeah, I might go down to someplace and buy a packaged turkey dinner and bring it out to them because you know they're not at home with their families; they're out doing something to help people, and they're not expecting anything more than just helping to build that home and help that family, and you do what you can do. We were walking through BJ's going in yesterday to buy a bunch of stuff, and there was I believe, a vet looked down on their luck, wheelchair with a sign asking for donations, and Donna. We went over to grab a couple of hot dogs and a drink for the ride home, and Donna said, I'm going to buy one for the guy in a bottle of water. And, you walk over and she handed the guy a hot dog, a bottle of cold water, and I think she gave him a couple of bucks in cash, too. I never carry cash anymore, so I couldn't help it. But, which is no
Oh my
excuse.
god.
But,
Why is it hot dogs always taste so much better when you buy it outside of your house? And they're always
well,
the kind where they're on that roller, okay, where they're constantly
yeah,
rolling to cook. Why do they taste so much
it's
better than in your house?
in the case of BJ's, it's just the quality of the hot dog that they use. It's not a 7-Eleven hot dog that you don't know what's in it. I'm sure it was a Dietz and Watson I'll be frank, which is just
Okay. Oh my god, guys.
and they
Back in the
sell them
day,
for $1. They
yeah,
sell that dang hot dog. It's like almost a foot long, and it's almost an inch wide.
back in
And
the day, Kmart when Kmart was king. We would always go to Kmart to buy stuff. We always had the kids with, and her mom was with us, and they had this outdoor little hot dog stand. You get two hot dogs for $1,
mm-hmm.
right? And either that or four pretzels for $1,
Yeah,
right? And we had to, and oh my god, I mean, it's like having sex. The hot dogs
if
just
if it's a good
taste so
hot
much
dog,
better.
if it's a good hot dog, and you got a good hot dog cart that's stocked well, you can do very well. I know a guy up in Waltham, Massachusetts. He does a few hours at one store, a few hours at another store. For lunch, he's always at the Home Depot for like 2 or 3 hours there. And just, he's, I don't know, working maybe 8 hours a day, and he just rakes it in. he just absolutely rakes it in, and he's a really nice guy.
Well, yeah,
So he just he
yard
just
sales. I mean, that'd be a great way
rakes
to make money. Get
absolutely
out your
rakes it
grill,
in. Yep.
get the grill out and buy some a couple dozen hot dogs and hot dog rolls, and make
Yep.
sure you get the softening because it's always a hot day when people go out yard selling
Hmm.
shopping. You can make a ton of money.
Yep.
There's this Vietnamese lady. She that's how what she does. She seeks out yard sales and she goes out and she sets up and she makes her uh, egg rolls.
Yep. You got to go in and buy something from the people at the yard sale though to make up for the fact that you sat there.
Well, I think
You know.
I think what she does is that wherever she sets up at, she pays the owner of the yard, a certain portion of her
Yeah.
profits. But
Yeah.
oh my God, egg rolls! Why do egg rolls always taste so damn good?
I don't know. If people make a good egg roll, it'll taste very good. We are looking at 11 o'clock. Actually, we're looking at 11:08. We can
Yeah,
go till 11:30 and pull the
yeah,
plug,
that's fine.
or what do you have to do?
We can go to 11:30. That's fine. So Israel's finally coming, making peace. I saw that right before the peace actually is taking hold. That they found a bunker that housed missiles that they hit pretty hard. Um, so I guess it boils down to, is Israel going to keep the land that they invaded and essentially took
They,
control of, or do they give the land back to the
they,
people?
they didn't invade it, they won it in the 67 war. There was a war, they were invaded. They were invaded back in 1967, and a war resulted over it. And they won. It was a 7 day war, I believe, before they ceased fire and settled and went away. And to me, no, you cannot come back to them, 60 some odd years later and say you need to give that land back. They won that land fair and square. Everybody from that point on acknowledged that Gaza and the West Bank were part of Israel. So, no, you can't just come back and say, we're going to take it back. And the people that were fighting it were always the Palestinians who seemed to believe that it was and always should be Palestine. And everybody seems to agree that there was no such thing as Palestine back then.
Uh,
There's no reference to a Palestinian homeland in the Bible. So, I've said a few times over the years since, if you look at the map of Israel, this country said we'll give up this quarter. 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 So you have a block of land that everybody gave in. In the middle was Jerusalem, and the agreement was that everybody gets a claim to Jerusalem because everybody back then believed that Jerusalem was the capital of the world and where everything began for all of the religions. And that maybe is the way that it should have been. Donald Trump, the last time he went back to Israel, moved the United States Embassy from Tel Aviv, which is the capital of Israel, to Jerusalem. And, maybe other countries need to do the same thing. But no, this is different than uh, Putin in 2024 invading Ukraine with the idea of taking over Ukraine, and Ukraine fighting with the idea of taking over land from from uh, Russia. The two need to just respect each other's borders and go away.
well, respect to those borders. Ukraine used to be part of Russia back in the day when it was called the Soviet Union.
Right,
And
but
then that leader decided to break up his country,
right, Mikhail
and
Gorbachev broke it up.
for whatever stupid ass reasons. Um, and all Putin's trying to do is put the pieces back together.
Well,
Um,
okay.
you have to think too. Unfortunately, Putin uh, has a different look on life as far as how a government should be ran. If it was the people, I would have to think that the Russian people as a whole would want to live life very close, very similar to that of conservative America. Okay, I don't think they would, lean left. I think they would lean central or to the right, and they would love to live life that way. But they have a leadership who is in control, and he wants to have a communist nation. And unfortunately, there's only so many countries who have a like-minded when it comes to government and treating other countries. So, he's outnumbered on that continent, and you can't blame him for trying to get some kind of buffer. But he's proven though with this supersonic rocket that borders really don't mean anything anymore because when you got a missile that can travel 8,000 miles per hour, having a imaginary border on your land doesn't mean absolutely nothing. Because those missiles will hit you before you have a chance to even respond.
But
So,
you have to hope then that the rest of the world, our allies, do the right thing and, and immediately just fire off every missile they have on Russia. Because to me, that thing is so dangerous because there is no guarantee that you build that thing that can make it to Ukraine in have to blow up Ukraine. It's not just going to blow up Ukraine. It's going to blow up that whole portion of Eastern Europe.
well, yeah, if it has the nuclear chip
Or
on it.
right, or someone is going to mess up the longitudes and latitudes, and instead of it landing in Ukraine, it's going to land in Randy's backyard in Lancaster County,
Yeah,
Pennsylvania.
that kiss Lancaster County goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, to me, it's just my belief was when we got to everyone having nuclear weapons was that at that point conventional war became outdated because everybody had more than enough weapons to blow the world up once. And you only need to blow up the world once. And hopefully that would be the threat to keep everybody from flipping the button and doing it. And that we would try to humanize and work things out. Maybe I'm just an old man who's stupid and that's not the right view of the world, and maybe it's not possible anymore. But
Yeah, unfortunately, the whole concept of a standard normal war has lost um, uh, its part of history now. We have the ability to put into combat robots, robot dogs, drones, drone planes, drone ships, drone tanks. You have the ability to make your, at least the United States does, to make your armored division invisible. You have the ability to give your soldiers armored uniforms to protect them against bullets. So the concept of a standard everyday war is gone. Um, and I think they're seeing that in the Ukrainian war with the use of all these damn drones.
yeah,
Um, and the idea of you have your tanks, and back in the day, tanks used to be the thing that turns the tide for a combat unit.
Mhm.
But now they got these damn drones that if it flies over your tank and your guy happens to have his cover, his hatch open because it's too damn hot inside the tank, and that drone can drop a bomb right down the hatch, and boom,
Yep.
your tank's
But,
gone.
but
Um,
now I think it's cameras on drones and older kids sitting in front of a computer playing war
yeah,
games that you're not even there's nobody on the battlefield. There's just you're playing against a Russian equivalent, uh, trying to see who can win. It's like the old Matthew Broderick movie War Games. The Whopper had to finally understand that it is a war game it was playing, and there is no winner because everybody dies,
yeah.
you know. But the Whopper was treating it like it was real because that's what it was supposed to do. It just kept playing every simulation of nuclear war it could come up with to keep the game going. But not everything is going to be able to be set by my Dave Goldman way of saying, hey, let's just sit at a table and break bread. There's going to be
Hmm.
some things we won't agree with. There's going to be some things we will agree with, and maybe that's how it needs how it needs to be. But anyway, I don't
I
know.
think uh, Trump was able to bring peace to the world once before, and I don't think that the world is that far gone that he can't be successful once again. This it's just the damn sad thing is that in 4 years, if the people of this country haven't learned from the past, which just say the 4 years that Biden was in, and to compare it to the 4 years that Trump was in, realize that we are much better off living life under a conservative president. Um, where was I? Um, oh my God, I saw the flash on your screen. I lost my train of thought. Um, oh God, it's just gone.
Okay, I'm
Um,
sorry.
but what was the flash? Something about three
It was
thousand.
David Novar said that anything over 3,000 miles is not supersonic; it's hypersonic. Speeds are typically greater than 3,000.
Well, that's what I was using the wrong words. It says
Well,
hypersonic is correct.
it wasn't to correct anybody. It was just me seeing a comment that should have been. A lot of times, I can't get to everybody's comments, so sometimes a person's comment would just get flashed on the screen.
Oh,
I never
what I
mean
was
to
saying is,
interrupt
um,
anyone, but
so
I
what I was saying
apologize that it
was,
does.
hopefully the people of our nation learn that the 4 years under Biden were absolutely hell horrendous, and
Mhm.
that the 4 years that Trump's going to be in office is going to be spent to undo what he did, take our country back to where it should be financially, a Christian nation, a productive nation, and so forth. And that at the end of his 4 year terms, that the American people don't go backwards, allowing someone like another Biden or Kamala, because the people, the Democrats believe that 4 years from now, Kamala is going to be a strong contestant for a Democrat president. God help us. So hopefully, the American people will learn that let's continue this policy of having a conservative Republican in office. I mean, it's sad that the senators and the congressmen can be in for a lifetime, and
Yeah.
they're in there, and they are uh, uh, their way of life is being portrayed through the laws they're making. Whereas a president's only there for 4 years. I said it before, and I'll say it again until the day I die. I think I believe Trump would make a great king. I really do. He loves the people, he loves the nation, and he's all about doing the best for the people. Uh, do you have some kings who are tyrants and who will abuse the population, But I don't think Trump would be that kind of person. By Trump being a king, he'll be able to continue a lifetime of making this country the best it can be. And that's what we need, someone like him.
I don't disagree with you in a lot of that. I don't think we need a king. I think we need to lengthen the term of president,
Yeah, that works too.
but
Yeah.
not make anyone a king, because again, you and I have had that conversation, and it goes from, well, Donald passes away, uh, Melania is Barron's mother, so would that make
That,
Melania? Well, Melania is a naturalized citizen, so she probably. Well, actually, it wouldn't matter, but because if we
but
have a
yeah,
king, it doesn't matter.
and in royalty, that won't matter because kings have marry other people's other nationalities,
No, no,
women.
I'm talking about
But,
she's
but
not a she's not she's not a she's not a born here American, which means that she probably could not run for president at this time.
well, I'm talking
So,
about.
so
I'm
she
talking
couldn't.
about kings.
Right. But by the same token, the whatever the Congress we would have, House of Parliament or whatever, isn't going to allow her to become queen. But that doesn't matter because Donald Jr. is, Ivanka is, Tiffany is, Barron is. So, it could go down from there. But the only problem when you make a king or bring a king or a queen into the United States is they're not Donald Trump. They got the Trump name. They may have the Trump ideals, but they're not Donald Trump. Donald could step down tomorrow and say, could step down on the 21st and say, I'm not going to be president anymore. I'm going to give it to my son, but he can't. And if he did that while he was king, I imagine people would overthrow him and whoever would come in then, because
Well,
they're not that person that we elected.
well, no. Okay, so you have to understand in a world of royalty where you have a king who rules the country. Okay, so on a normal conditions, the king is going to rule the country until he dies or becomes too sick to do his duties. Then what happens is his eldest son, if he's found his father's favor, will be passed on and given the royal chair, and he becomes king.
Right,
Now, if the elder son pissed off the father through some stupidity, he could bypass the elder son and give it to the next son in line. What that in history tended to create a war between the elder son and the military who supported him, and the second son
right.
who had the king's favor and his army. But it doesn't. Very seldom ever goes to a female unless there's no males
No,
in the royal order.
no. I mean, there's Donald, and then I believe Ivanka is older than Eric. I'm not sure on that, but whichever one is it will bypass if you're going to make it male, but that whole thing of us kicking it to a king is going to be, I'm sure no one's going to agree without an understanding that it doesn't matter who it goes to next. It goes to the oldest child, second oldest, third oldest, all the way down the line. Is how it would have to be, because we're a country where we could have a king, we could have a queen. That's how it would have to be passed down. But all I'm saying is that Donald Trump Jr. is not Donald Trump. We elected Donald Trump because we all know who and what Donald Trump is. We didn't elect Donald Trump Jr. So Donald Trump Jr. could actually be completely different than his father once he has become king and take us in a completely different direction. Then he dies on the battlefield and Eric takes over. And Eric could be completely different
Oh
from
yeah. I mean, obviously,
Junior, and then it gets down to Barron, who I think is more in line with his father, who says, "I'm going to bring us back." I don't know where it goes from Barron. Well, where
yeah,
it goes from Barron, because
but
that's
what's
the end. That's the end
the,
of the
the,
male children.
the point I was trying to say was is that at least with Trump, okay, uh, uh, obviously doesn't have a lot of years left, but with Trump, you have who he is, you know what his policy is, but to have him only for 4 years doesn't seem fair because then you run a chance of getting another Biden or an Obama uh,
Mhm.
in office.
I understand what you're saying. I mean, I don't know the answer either. I understand, but I just don't think the majority of Republicans and Democrats, throw in the independents, throw in anyone else who's not in a party but still old enough and registered to vote, American citizens. I just don't think they're going to take us back to a king. Had the opportunity to be king, and he
and he
didn't,
turned it down.
and he turned it down. Where we 2024, I have no clue. I don't even know if Washington had children. He was married.
Yeah,
I don't know.
makes
I don't know if they had children, but uh,
yeah, it makes you wonder if there was a let's say the people chose a Biden like person first to be president, and then they came to Washington. Washington, please save us from this maniacal person. I wonder if at that point, seeing the way he was, if Washington would accept a kingship for a title, or just to continue the 4 year
well,
thing.
I think
Um,
he was saying to people, at least this is what historians and people that seem to have an understanding of George Washington, is that he would communicate back. We just left all of that. So if now for all of these people that came with me and said it kind of defeated the purpose of everything they went through. They came here with the intention of breaking off from the king. So to
right.
come here and get a
Well,
king, I think of a slap at them. Why did you bother to come? Or
well,
why did we bother to come?
they left Europe because of a maniacal king, but but if Washington had the ability to convince the people, look, I know where we came from. It was King Edward, and I know how he was and what he did to us. I won't be that kind of a king. I will be a loving, kind king if you choose to elect me as king. Who knows what would have happened? But unfortunately, they didn't have an hourglass to look, 200 years in the future to see, how our world was going to be as far as the sins that we live and so forth, and how we want to treat each other. Who knows what kind of a government they would have created back in the day?
I,
Maybe they would have chosen a king if they knew what was going to happen.
I wonder if they thought we would have lasted as long as we did.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know what they would have said they thought would have happened, but maybe we would never have separated from the British Crown. Maybe we would still be part of the British Crown. You
Yeah.
but I
And
don't
look at
know.
and look at the British Crown now. They're a mess.
They are a mess.
They are a mess.
They are a
Yeah,
mess.
when the English people, at least the ones that who I saw on a Jerry show and one or two other shows, saying that they're looking to the American citizens because we still have the Second Amendment. They're looking to us to save them. That's pretty sad, you know. So
Yeah.
yes, well, I'm gonna get going
Yep.
here. I gotta
All right.
I gotta refill my coffee and get some breakfast.
All right. Friday morning at 10 a.m. The links will go out about 9:45. There will not be one tomorrow night, Thursday. Please go and have a very happy
Yeah.
Thanksgiving with you and Claudette, and thank her for the time she lets you come and play with us.
Yep. I
Tomorrow
I'm
is
going
not
to end with
Thanksgiving, as it was just
eh,
pointed out to me. Uh, tomorrow is Thanksgiving. I don't
yeah,
know.
tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Tomorrow's
Right.
Thursday.
Yeah. So
Uh,
go have a happy Thanksgiving.
your comment just brought back a memory.
Okay.
Uh, when we lived in England, and it took a long time to make friends because the British people had a very bad uh, 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 feelings towards American citizens. Anyways, I finally made some friends, and um, I did something wrong. I did something bad. My mom grounded me, right? So all these kids came to the house, knocked on the door, and they said to my mom, "Can Randy come out and play?" And she said, "No, Randy is being punished. He's being grounded. He can't come out to play now." And it's like you can see the sad looks on their faces. Oh my
Mhm.
God, that's just
Yep.
wow. That just brought back some memories. That's what I gotta go before I start
All right,
crying.
Randy. Go, go,
You
go,
take
go,
care.
go. All right. We'll see you Friday. Randy Rhodes, All Roads Lead You Home Genealogy Services. If you're looking for that, go to the Randy Rhodes Facebook page. Let me swallow this chip of ice. Go to the Randy Rhodes Facebook page and message him. Tell him you're interested in the HP All-in-One. If you are, discuss that with him. And if you're looking for genealogy services, go and talk to him. That makes an excellent Christmas present. So talk to him about. We will be back Friday morning at 10 a.m. Bill Muckler is off for the Thanksgiving holiday, so we're just going to kind of throw it open to anyone who wants to join me at 10 a.m. Eastern on my profile and over on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. And that's the way it's going to be. I hope everybody has a fantastic Thanksgiving holiday. And that's about all I got to say. You have been watching Boogie with the Bull Wednesday morning caffeination of the No Budget Broadcasting Company. And that is that. David Novard did add a comment. The settlers came here to get away from all that king BS. We don't want a king in the USA. If you install a king, you're setting us up for a royal screwing. Very, very, very true. So, David Noir, thank you for watching. Pat O'Grief, thank you for watching. Chuck Cook, thank you for commenting. And Chuck will be here on Friday. Everybody go and have a fantastic Thanksgiving holiday. Thank you for being in our groups all over Facebook, being in groups that I'm in all over Facebook, and all of that. Go and have a great holiday. Double B's for victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast is going to come